Today has been an interesting day. I just sent Battleborn Bride off to my editors, so they have it for my Friday editing slot. And I just noticed the wasp trap back there. Um, it is a bit breezy out today, and it's been very warm and a little bit cloudy. So we'll see what the weather is like over the next few days because we are heading out in the morning to take our quick little trip. So, I have another task off my plate. My editors currently have two of my manuscripts because Restless Spirits Book 2 is still in the proofing queue. But I am relieved. I got through a majority of the revisions that I wanted to do on Battleborn Bride. I didn't do the last two chapters, I think, but they were clean enough that I'm not too worried about them. And I will be doing more revisions once I get these edits back from the editors. So that's a relief. Just in time, since I was supposed to get it to them by tomorrow. And they did actually remind me today that my manuscript was due. Today was also a somewhat emotional day because I received my Irish passport. I am a dual citizen since my mother was born and raised in Ireland, and I've been meaning for years to get one and just hadn't gotten around to it until recently. So having that in hand was quite emotional, and I I just feel that obviously, I always knew I was Irish, but having a document that says I'm an Irish national is a little bit of a different experience, and it made me think a lot about my mom and her family, and I'm looking forward to making another trip over there sometime and actually having my Irish passport with me. You may also have noticed that I got my hair trimmed a little bit because I will be seeing some former coworkers at the conference that we'll be attending for the next few days. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. Get to find out if anything new and exciting is happening in the world of archives. I'm sure digital archiving will be a big topic of discussion because so many records these days are created electronically. And you might be interested to know that the federal government actually requires electronic records to be submitted to the National Archives and not the physical paper copies of the records because so many of them are born digital. So that's something that's really here nor there, but I find it interesting. I'm really more interested in the working with the physical documents, which was part of the reason why I retired when I did, because watching everything go digital was a little bit nerve-wracking. And even though I can adapt to that environment, I felt much more comfortable working with paper records, and less time was being spent on those. So at some point, I may go back and either volunteer or maybe get a grant-funded position at an archives where I can maybe work on a project with physical records because they sometimes do hire people just for particular projects instead of on a long-term basis. That happens a lot in the archival community, and it can be very hard for an archivist to find a full-time job. So one of the reasons I'm going to the conference is that I'm trying to stay up to speed and maintain my contacts in case I do end up going back into that world sometime, I don't know, in the next few years. I did want to get some books under my belt before that happens. So one of the things I have been thinking of doing is volunteering at our local state museum because they have quite a few photographs that need to be probably digitized. I'm not sure if they do them in-house, but they also need to be cataloged. And I would love to be able to do that because I'm hoping to find photographs of our house where it was originally located, since I believe I've mentioned it was moved twice. But that is neither here nor there. Um, just a lot of thoughts and feelings are happening today because so much is going on. And it is always funny when so many things happen all at the same time. The other thing that we got today was our alumni magazine from the local university where JT and I both graduated. And I'd forgotten that I submitted a little notice last fall because I think the magazines only come out twice a year now. But there is a little notification in there talking about JT and I as alumni and mentioning that we do have our little publishing company and that we are self published authors with 2 podcasts. So it has been quite the day, really. We saw that the notice was in the magazine because someone else actually posted a photograph of the page on Facebook. And one of our fellow local authors, she was looking through the alumni magazine and said, "Oh, hey, I know these people." So we actually saw the image of the page before we got our copy of the magazine later in the afternoon, which was rather funny. Just, it's been a good day all around, but a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. I'm feeling such an immense amount of relief to have Battleborn Bride out, especially after going through that fast drafting process. And if you've been following along, you know exactly what I'm talking about because that was quite the ordeal. But the current version of the manuscript comes in at over 51,000 words. It probably could be longer, but at this point, I had to get it to the editors, so I'm not sure if I will add in more detail or not. I did flesh out a couple of spots that were a little bare, but for the most part, I think it reads pretty clean. And I'm still very interested to see what other people think about it. I'm going to have to get it ready to go to my beta readers, but that will be after I get back from my little trip. So that's my interesting day. It is currently 6:45 p.m. I need to go pack and get a few other things done before I can go to bed, and we will be probably hitting the road first thing in the morning. So that will be a lot of fun. And we still aren't 100% sure what we're doing after the conference. We have a few options that we may take a couple extra days to do. Our initial thought was the Grand Canyon, which would be fun because then we can also drive along a little bit of Route 66. And this is the centennial year of that highway. So if we did the Grand Canyon, we could come back through Seligman, Arizona, which was one of the inspirations for the Disney movie or Pixar movie Cars. And I've always kind of wanted to do a little bit of Route 66. I don't know that I'd do the full thing. So that's one possibility. We've also talked about maybe visiting a couple of spots in Nevada that we really like on the way home. So it will depend on how we're feeling when the conference is over. If we decide we want to just head home instead of making that loop around to the Grand Canyon, then we'll still have a good time. So I will be recording videos on the road. One of the things I need to do before I leave is to download the editing software onto my MacBook so that I'm able to do that on the road. But I'll be taking some footage as we travel across the state tomorrow. We have an 8 or 9 hour drive ahead of us because we are going into Utah. We will be going through parts of Nevada that we haven't yet seen, which will be fun. And then I'll keep you posted on everything else that's going on. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far, and I look forward to talking to you from the road. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.